Hey everyone, what I'd like to do today is talk about my experience of using the Ubiquiti G6 Instant security camera, which is this sexy little security camera here. Quite a cool looking camera. Now, I used the word experience because up until a week ago, this was planned as a full review, but unfortunately, after a recent update, I've run into some problems. I've not been able to fix them, and I have to send this product back, which is annoying me because I absolutely love this camera. It was amazing before that happened, and I was really happy with my purchase. Okay, I'll backtrack a little bit and give you some context. I've been using Ubiquiti products for about a year or so. So I joined the ecosystem about a year or so ago. And about 6 weeks ago, I picked up my first Ubiquiti security cameras. I got the G5 Turret Ultra, which is a PoE security camera, and I got the G6 Instant. Now, this retails at around £170 or so here in the UK, and it really does have a lot of great features. It's a 4K camera. It's got two-way audio. It's got a 1/1.8 inch 8 megapixel image sensor, and it has AI. Now, I know AI is a buzzword right now, and a lot of companies are using it for basically anything. But here, AI is quite useful. You can use it to detect people, to detect animals. It can read vehicle registrations, and all of this helps you when notifying you about different security notifications and different things like that. So it's quite an impressive little camera, and it's certainly, it delivers more than what you would expect for a camera of this size. Now, setting it up was really straightforward. I initially set it up directly on my Ubiquiti UCG fiber. So my router has the SSD built in, and I used that initially, but then I bought the network video recorder instant, and you can see that IP address there, 192, and that takes me over to here. Now, this is showing the Ubiquiti G5 Turret Ultra. This is my garage, and yes, it is an absolute disgrace. It's boxes, it's things that should really go in the bin. It's a garage. This is a typical UK garage. Now, normally you would see the G6 Instant there, but I can't show you that because it's not connected. But I can show you that, I was using it to detect, vehicles and people and different things like that. Now, I don't actually monitor these cameras. This is more of if someone, steals the car or does anything, I'll refer back to this footage. But I will say that Ubiquiti Protect is very easy to use. There's a lot of fantastic features, most of which I don't use. And when I was initially setting up the G6 Instant, the setup was okay. There was no issues. It connected and everything was okay. But it is worth saying that documentation is an area where Ubiquiti have to do better. And I've talked about this in other videos, but to give you an example of this, here's the G6 Instant. You go to technical, you've got a lot of cool specifications there. IPX5, because this is waterproof, you can use it outside. What else we got here? We've got the weight, 188 grams. We've got a micro SD card slot in there because it's Wi-Fi, but if you lose your Wi-Fi connection, you can record directly to the micro SD card. All of these things are great, but what we've got here, installation guide. This is what they give you to get going. That's it. That's all you get. This little guide here, which is pretty bad in my opinion. And it's bad because not that this is, too difficult to set up, but bad because there's no FAQ, there's no troubleshooting, there's nothing there to really help you when things go wrong. Now, initially things were fine with me, but what happened was a week or so ago, there was some sort of update either on my NVR or the Protect app. I think it was the Protect app. And after that, this disconnected. This G6 Instant, it disconnected and I could not connect it again. Now, it's worth noting as well, a side issue is that I've been really impressed by the video quality, how this works, etc. But this thing gets hot. It's hot to touch, and it always seems to be overheating. Now, I realize part of that is because maybe the design of it inside is designed it to dissipate heat You know, you can't really hear any fan or anything like that. So it's maybe just the way it's designed with passive cooling that, you know, it's hot to touch, but it does seem to be, you know, very susceptible to getting hot. But the issue is that it just stopped working for me. Now, when you have a Wi-Fi security camera, it's a little bit harder to get things going because it's not like PoE. You just don't connect it to your network and then you're good. But I went through the initial setup process again, and I can show you that right now, and I can show you the exact error. So here it's here, new camera G6 Instant found, view, there it's there. Now close means that because it uses the Bluetooth connection initially to adopt. So you can adopt it, connecting device, loading Wi-Fi networks, and then I'll load up my main connection. Should be able to paste this here. There you go, password pasted in. And now it's adopting. And this is where things were, well, frustrating to say the least. It doesn't adopt. And this is the issue. It's not adopted for a week or two now. And the problem with that, in my opinion, is kind of similar to the documentation issue in that there's no help. There's no troubleshooting steps. There's no guide. There's no, well, this happened, so you should do this. You're completely lost and completely in the dark as to what happened here. Now you can see here, it says, if I can get this, here you can see a connection error occurred during setup. Choose a network to try again. And yes, this is something I've tried. I've tried lots of things. I've tried a 2.4 gigahertz only network. I've tried a 5 gigahertz only network. I've tried combined. I've tried reducing security from WPA 2 and 3 down to WPA 2. I've tried lots of different combinations, and I've also tried the UTR. This is another product I'll talk about another day because it's fantastic. This is the Ubiquiti travel router, the unifi travel router. It's the UTR, and this is fantastic. But even if I create a hotspot with this, I cannot get this connected, even if I make that hotspot like the lowest security, or even if I use open security. And I've tried open security as in no password with the UTR, but also with my ASUS routers as well. I tried absolutely everything and I could not get it working. Now, looking online, looking at the Ubiquiti forums, other people have experienced very similar issues or the exact same issue. And the frustrating part about this is, yes, if you look here, you can see that you don't get any information here. It's very vague as to what's wrong. It doesn't say wrong security. It doesn't say there's a, not strong enough, etc. And bear in mind, etc., the network I'm joining is the network that it worked with before and it worked fine. So that's something to bear in mind. But yeah, there's no troubleshooting steps. There's no information to help me diagnose and resolve this issue. Now, I did speak to Ubiquiti about this, and they asked the same questions, and I was like, listen, I've did this, I've tried this, I've tried this, I've tried this, and they just instantly went, it is broken. RMA it, send it back. So I have to send it back to the company that I bought it through. It was, again, a bit annoying because I have loved this camera so much, and up until now, I would have wholeheartedly recommended this camera. But now, well, it's making me rethink Wi-Fi cameras in general within the Ubiquiti ecosystem. Now, I've used Wi-Fi cameras before and I've had mixed results. Every so often they disconnect, you have to reconnect them, etc. But within the Ubiquiti ecosystem, I just assumed that the Wi-Fi setup would be really good. But no, that is not the case. And I'm a little bit frustrated by that because I'm quite fortunate that like 3 out of our 4 bedrooms have networking. We've got Ethernet ports at the wall. I've got Ethernet ports in the living room, but I don't have Ethernet ports in the garage. I don't have Ethernet ports in one of the bedrooms at the back of the house, etc. And that's where a Wi-Fi camera comes in useful because you can use this to connect and place security cameras in areas where you don't have a PoE connection or you can't wire cables. And you can also use this to just test things because before you start running cables, PoE cables about the place to wire a security camera, it's great to just put up a Wi-Fi camera and get the angle right, and then you can put your camera there. But I can't do that now. And moving forward, it's making me rethink my whole approach to this. I really don't want to go down the Wi-Fi route now. I'm going to have to try and, jig some other solution to it, maybe buy some other products. But I cannot buy a Ubiquiti Wi-Fi device now, such as this, with confidence, because the support team wasn't much help in resolving the issue. And as you can see, the app doesn't do anything to point you in the right direction as to what's wrong. And the thing is, nothing's wrong. I used this exact setup before and it worked fine. Now, yes, in theory, maybe another few weeks go by, maybe there's an update to the Protect app and maybe it works, but I don't have time for that. You know yourself, when you're troubleshooting stuff like this, you can spend a day or two trying to get it working, and at a certain point, you just lose your patience, you lose your energy, and at that point, it's time to move on. So yes, this was supposed to be a product review, and if I had published this video 2 weeks ago, I would have wholeheartedly recommended it to all of you. But now, it's still a fantastic little camera when it's working, but the connection issue, I would definitely say to proceed with caution. Thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to hear from you about this, especially those of you that have Ubiquiti security cameras and have experienced this issue before. This is perhaps not widespread. Maybe, there's those of you who that are out there with Wi-Fi security cameras that have never experienced this problem, but when it does happen, it's an absolute pain. And yeah, a little bit disappointing that it's resulted in me having to send it back. But thanks for watching. I do appreciate all of you watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do leave a comment below. Give me your opinion. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe. And until next time, take care.